And Brett, fortunately for us in East Texas, I feel like every summer we're telling lots of stories about wildfires popping up here and there. Haven't seen a ton of that despite the heat that we've been getting.
Yeah, it just kind of got hot. We were wet kind of the first half of July, but it just sort of dried out. So certainly maybe we get to the end of August and into September before we start getting some rain. Yeah, we could be talking about that. Let's talk about a hot Friday coming up. It's a sunny hot Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. The feels like temperature ranging 103 to 107, so a heat advisory in effect. Of course, I'm going to remind you all the time, check on your backseat of your car, your pets. Avoid walking on the sidewalks, the hot concrete, the hot asphalt for sure, and get inside some cooler rooms when you can. High temperatures tomorrow should be very close to 100. It should be the hottest day of the week. Today, we got back up to about where we were yesterday. If you were watching last night at 10 o'clock, I said we were using persistence forecasting because not much was changing. The only change tomorrow is the axis or the core of the heat just gets a little bit closer to us before it begins to retreat. So upper 90s to around 103 possibly at Mineola and Emory. Mount Pleasant made it up to 100 today, so I think they could possibly do 103. Drought monitor just came out today. We are abnormally dry. Just this little area here would be considered in drought from Canton up to Mineola. That's a level 1 out of 4. Again, those yellow areas are considered abnormally dry, and then drought nowhere else in East Texas. Last 60 days, the only areas that have been below average are from Henderson up to around Gilmer, back toward Mineola, Sulphur Springs, then out toward the DFW. Very close or just a little bit above average, Nacogdoches down to Lufkin. Though when we look at the hard numbers in the last 60 days going back to June 1st, Lufkin's just a little bit below average. Longview closer to 3 inches below average. Tyler a little bit on the plus side. Going into the middle part of August, below average rainfall is forecast. The monsoon continues out in parts of Arizona and New Mexico and Southern California and into Nevada. Heat advisories tomorrow until 8 p.m. for all of East Texas, except for Houston, Trinity counties. They may be added, so make sure you're checking back and check back tomorrow morning with Joel Robinson on Morning All starting at 5 a.m. Otherwise, feels like temperatures tomorrow climb up to 3 p.m. Feels like 102, 103 at 5 p.m. with sunny skies. And the peaks somewhere around 4 or 5 o'clock. Mineola feels like temperature 105. Emory could see a heat index as high as 106. Farther away from that heat axis, we're talking about slightly cooler heat index numbers, but still be careful with these. Future Skycast tomorrow, sunshine. Few clouds come in. We get into Saturday morning. Here comes the frontal boundary. Out ahead of the frontal boundary, we have a few showers that develop. Northwest winds come in behind that at noon on Saturday. Temperatures fall into the 80s and then recover back to the low 90s at Mount Pleasant. But look at San Augustine, Lufkin, and Groveton. Upper 90s, still a very hot Saturday. And then Sunday morning, we get the payoff. Temperatures in the 60s out the door Sunday morning. All right, forecast tonight. Stuffy, warm, 79 for the overnight low. Tomorrow, intervals of clouds and sunshine. South-southwest winds 5 to 10. It's a Friday heat up to 100. Baylor Scott & White Texas Spine and Joint Hospital 7-day forecast weather impact alert again tomorrow. And that's the last weather impact alert for at least 6 or 7 days. Yeah, it's hot, but it's pretty close to where we should be this time of the year. Highs in the upper 90s. Morning lows Sunday morning in the 60s. Sunday afternoon around 93 under mostly sunny skies. Unfortunately, we start to see the daytime highs climbing back to the mid-90s by the middle part of next week. But again, that's right around average. Morning lows are also coming up to about average. So we'll hold off on any weather impact alerts. I don't think we're going to have any heat advisories through the middle to latter part of the week. We'll check out your 10-day forecast coming up tonight at 6.